everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Biology with Saman, and in today's video we will cover up the topic of gametogenesis, a process in which the primary sex organs, in case of human male it is testis and in case of human female it is ovary, produces gametes, that is sperm as well as ovum respectively. So we will try to cover up the process of spermatogenesis in today's video. Without any further delay, let's begin our class. Whenever we are talking of the process of spermatogenesis, we need to know two important things. Number one, that it begins at puberty. It begins at puberty. And number second thing is that in testis, inside of the testis, we see there are some cells which are called as spermatogonia. Spermatogonias are basically, these are immature male germ cells. Immature male germ cells. They usually lines seminiferous tubule. Seminiferous tubule to produce sperms. What is the main role? How does the sperm is produced, by which cells? Basically, they are produced by the immature male germ cells that are called as your spermatogonia. Number second thing is very important, that these spermatogonias are always, they are diploid. They are diploid in nature. That means the ploidy level is 2n and they have 46 chromosomes present. I hope I'm clear till now. Now, this process of spermatogenesis, it has four stages. It has four stages mainly, right? The first one, whenever we are talking about spermatogenesis, is the first step is the spermatocytogenesis, where what happens that not all spermatogonia, but some spermatogonia, they undergo a process that is mitotic division. They will divide, and what they will do, they will increase in their number and size to form what? To form primary spermatocyte. As this process is what process? It's a process of mitosis, right? So it's a equational division. We have already learned it in class 11. So the chromosome number will remain 2n. So from what we see, that the spermatogonia, they produces the primary spermatocyte with the help of mitotic division. Now, the second process is meiosis. What happens in meiosis? Meiosis are basically, in case of spermatogenesis, there are two meiosis. Meiosis 1 and 2. So in meiosis 1, what we see, that this primary spermatocyte, or we can say 1 degree spermatocyte, or we can say primary spermatocyte, both are the same thing. They produces two equal haploid secondary spermatocyte. So as this is the process of meiosis, so the chromosome number will reduce to half. So it will get reduced to n. After that, what we see, we have meiosis 2, where what we see, that the secondary spermatocyte undergoes the second meiotic division. It is n. What does it go? It undergoes second meiosis 2, and they form 4 equal haploids spermatids. They form what? They form spermatid. Now, the chromosome number of the spermatid will remain same, which is n here. I hope I'm clear till now. Then the last process is the process of spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis is basically, it's a process of transformation or differentiation. So we can write here like this, it's a transformation or a differentiation process, or a differentiation of what? Of spermatid into sperm. Into sperm we can say, or spermatozoa, both have the same meaning, sperm or spermatozoa, whatever you can say here. Now, what happens in case of the spermiogenesis? Let's see here. See, now this is the, suppose this is my spermatid. Now this spermatid has two qualities. It is non-motile, and non-motile, that means it will be heavy. Why? Because it has organelles present. A lot of heavy organelles present, like we have mitochondria, we have nucleus, we have here Golgi bodies, and also we have centriole present here, right? So what we need to do, we have to convert this heavy thing into something which is lighter, so that the ability to locomote will be easy. So this spermatid has to convert into sperm, which is motile, and definitely it is flagellated in nature. Fine. So how does it will take place? We have to reduce its weight, reduction of weight. Of what thing? Of spermatid has to be done, so that the locomotory structures becomes easier for them to form. Also, we need to here understand that a lot of cytoplasm is lost during this process of transformation. So little cytoplasm is left around the head part and also around the middle piece. Little cytoplasm. Most of cytoplasm is lost. You can write here. Most of the cytoplasm is lost. But little amount remains around the little amount present around the head as well as the middle piece. So this sperm also has 4 parts. Let's see what are they. Just let me remove it. The first one is the head, that has nucleus, and also we have acrosome. Acrosome is the formation of the Golgi bodies. Then we have the neck, which has centriole. What are the two centrioles? We have proximal and we have distal. Then we have middle piece. The middle piece has mitochondria that provides energy for the movement of the sperm. And then we have the tail part. Fine. So I hope I'm clear till now. It's easy, relatively it's easier. Let's move ahead. Just give me a moment. Okay. So after this process of transformation has taken place, or we can say differentiation has taken place, what we see, sperm head embedded in Sertoli cells. Why? Because as this transformation is taking place, most of the things are getting absorbed by the Sertoli cells. We have learned that in Sertoli cells has variety of functions. One of the function is to absorb the part that is being shed during the process of spermiogenesis, right? Sperm have become embedded in the Sertoli cells and are released from Sertoli cells into the seminiferous tubule by the process of, this was spermiation. Actually, the NCERT says that sperms had become embedded in Sertoli cells and they're finally released. Fine. But this finally released from where? The sperm head has to be removed from the Sertoli cells. It has to be moved into the lumen of the seminiferous tubule, and then afterwards it will be moving out from that part, right? They will be moving out into the, we can say, to be more specific, tubuli recti, and from tubuli recti they will go into the rete testis part. Fine, I hope it's clear. So this happens in the process of spermiation. So let's see here. There is a diagrammatic representation that becomes easier for us to understand this diagram, right? So it is what? It is the seminiferous tubules. We can see here this spermatogonia is lining the walls of the seminiferous tubule. So this is what? It is 2n. Then we have primary spermatocyte, again it is 2n. Secondary is n. Spermatid is n. Spermatozoa, or we can say sperm. Both have same meaning. That is called as the sperm. This is the Sertoli cells, very important. They are also called as nerve cells. They are also called as sustentacular cells, right? So this is the important diagram of the NCERT. Very important, it may come. And this diagram is the representation of what? They are the representation, as the diagram says, is a representation of the seminiferous tubule. Let's move ahead. I want to show you this chart that is there in the NCERT. So suppose the process of spermatogenesis now beginning to take place. This is the what? This is your spermatogonia. Spermatogonia. Now, what we know about spermatogonia, it is 2n in number, the ploidy level. So this at the time of puberty, this spermatogonia is now increasing its number, and then they are further increasing in number and their size. Fine. So this process is called as what? Mitosis. Mitosis. And then the process in which the mitosis is taking place, there is a formation of primary spermatocyte. Fine. Now this primary spermatocyte is what? It is 2n in number. Now what we see from this, suppose we are taking this primary spermatocyte. What we see that this primary spermatocyte is undergoing the first meiotic division, and they form two secondary spermatocyte from one spermatocyte, right? From one primary spermatocyte we form two secondary spermatocyte. So this is what? It was meiosis, what? Meiosis 1 it was, right? Now after that, what we see, from the secondary spermatocyte we see there are from one secondary spermatocyte, two spermatids are formed. So from two secondary spermatocyte, there is the formation of 4 spermatids. Fine. So this is called as what? It is which division? It is meiosis 2. Fine. The ploidy remain same, right? As it is a meiosis 1, there is a reduction division, and then the meiosis 2 will remain same. Fine, I hope it's clear. Now, from spermatid, what will form? From spermatid, very easy thing. Just give me a moment. Let me put the cursor down. Okay, see. From spermatid, there is the formation of sperms, right? From spermatid, there is a formation of spermatozoa, or we can say it to be a sperm. I hope I'm making clear. This is the sperm. Now, this process is called as what? This process is called as differentiation. Differentiation only takes place in the male reproductive system in case of spermatogenesis, right? There is no differentiation in case of oogenesis. Always remember this. It is N. Fine. So this is what the overall representation of the process. So let's see. I have made some few questions for you all. Let's see here. What is the question saying? That if 100 spermatogonias, what it is saying? Just let me put the cursor down. Yeah. If 100 spermatogonias undergo meiosis, how many sperm cells will be produced? What we see, from one spermatogonia, we saw there is the formation of 4 sperms, right? So from 100, how many sperms will be produced? 400 sperms will be produced. Very easy question, right? From one spermatogonia, one primary spermatocyte formed. From one primary spermatocyte, 2 secondary spermatocyte formed. from two secondary spermatocytes, four sperms or spermatozoas were formed. Now, next question is, let me go to the next question. The number of secondary spermatocyte required for the formation of 400 spermatozoa. Okay, how many numbers of them? Okay, what we know from here that, let me go like this. Okay, let's see like this. From four sperms or spermatozoas, we saw there are two secondary spermatocytes formed. Put SS, right? Fine. So from one sperm, how many form will be there? 200 by 4. And from 400 sperm, it will be 400. So 2, and this will be the answer, 200. Or you can also say, how many secondary spermatocytes required for the formation of 400 spermatozoas? We know that from what? One secondary spermatocyte forms two sperms, right? So from here also you can get, so two sperms is formed by one secondary spermatocyte. So 400 sperms formed from how many? So that will be the answer, again 200, right? So it's a easy one. Okay, so this was the question, right? So let's end the class here, and I hope you got to know about how does the process of spermatogenesis takes place, right? Here, and in the next class we will try to cover up the topic of oogenesis. If you have any queries, you may comment in the comment section. Thank you. I'll see you in the next class.